Restoration, good Thursday morning. Listen, we're in the summer of Psalms on Sunday morning. As I mentioned the past couple of weeks here on the Thursday video, that our reading plan in the app is taking us in the book of Psalms a couple times a week. Well, earlier this week, we were in Psalm 75. And I just kind of want to give some thoughts on Psalm 75. And if you haven't read it, I want to encourage you maybe to hit pause real quick and to read Psalm 75 and then pick the video back up afterward. But as you look at Psalm 75, man, it's so beautiful. It starts off with just this praise of the Lord for who he is, like just this worship of God for his presence. Then it moves in to just real clear. Hey, this awesome God that we serve and worship, he's a righteous judge. He's an exact judge, and he's going to bring judgment. That's what Psalm 75 says. Now, that can be a little discouraging, especially as you keep moving forward. As you keep moving forward, you're going to see this theme that you see recurring in the Old Testament. The theme is the difference between pride and humility. And in the Old Testament, that is a salvific issue. It's a saving issue. If you want to look at the Old Testament, the biggest difference between those who are experiencing God's wrath and those who are saved from God's wrath, humility versus pride. You can go down and read Psalm 75 and it's real clear. Those who stand in pride will experience God's wrath. Now, what does it look like for me and you to walk in humility? Well, I think it begins with just an acknowledgement of our sin, right? It begins with the acknowledgement that we are in desperate need of a Savior. It begins with an acknowledgement that God, out of his love, provides that Savior, Jesus, and his work on the cross and his resurrection is that salvation that we need. That begins that walk down the path of humility. Then we just trust, at least in the New Testament, under the New Covenant, that the Spirit's work in us will continue to edify, continue to develop that sense of humility. It's a fruit of the Spirit. But in the Old Testament, man, there was this clear delineation between God's wrath and being saved from God's wrath, and it's pride versus humility. At the same time, Psalm 75 is pointing to something really clear, and that is this: even for those who are humble, even for those who acknowledge their sin, they acknowledge their Savior, God is such an exact judge that their sin can't go unpunished. So Jesus takes that cup on our behalf. See, Psalm 75 is pointing to our Savior in Jesus, and that he is going to take that exact judgment on our behalf in our place from God, because that's how serious God takes our sin. Now, for those of us who are under Christ and have walked that path of humility, acknowledging our need for a Savior, man, Jesus' blood covers us and we never have to experience God's wrath. So for that, we lift up praise and worship to him. And I want to encourage you to do that today as well. Church, listen, we've come off a busy month, and God has been moving in the month of June, and I believe God is still moving. And so we're going to have baptism again in the worship center in July. We're going to have baptism again at the beach in July. I want to encourage you to sign up for that. Let us know when you're available. At the same time, the month of August is right around the corner, and we're going to kick off Restoration Women. As I said on Sunday, we're going to kick off Students of Restoration officially, YAMS officially. I'm looking forward to a big August, especially and including community groups. I want you to go ahead and resolve now, to make a commitment now, that you're going to engage into the body of believers that we talked about on Sunday, and that you'll be part of a group. More on that to come. Hey, Restoration, until I see you on Sunday, be on mission.